La Tansawa al-Ishtirak Balkinahi Watafili al-Jarsi. Introduction. Deep within the history of ancient Egypt, specifically during the Golden Era of Egypt under the rule of the 18th dynasty, there was a great pharaoh named Amenhotep III. This king, who ruled Egypt for more than 3 decades, inscribed his name in the annals of ancient Egyptian civilization as one of its greatest rulers. His reign was marked by political stability, military expansion, and unforgettable architectural achievements. However, despite his greatness, his life remained shrouded in mystery. In this video, we will delve into the details of Amenhotep III's life through an unconventional story, filled with surprises, legends, and astonishing historical facts. Who was Amenhotep III? Amenhotep III, also sometimes known as Amenhotep III, was the 9th pharaoh of the 18th dynasty of ancient Egypt. He ruled Egypt for 38 years, from around 1391 BCE to 1353 BCE, and is considered one of the most prominent pharaohs of Egypt's golden age. His name in hieroglyphics was written as Amenhotep, meaning Amun is satisfied, reflecting his deep respect and affection for the god Amun, who held a prominent place in Egyptian life. Amenhotep III's reign was characterized by a period of relative peace and economic prosperity. Although he began his rule with a passion for royal sports, especially hunting, his authority was not limited to mere leisure. He led many military campaigns against rebels in distant regions such as Kush, Nubia, and he played a pivotal role in expanding the boundaries of his empire, reaching as far as the Fourth Cataract of the Nile. However, wars were not a major focus of his reign. Diplomacy and statecraft were his main tools for expanding Egypt's influence. An era of luxury and architectural achievements. Amenhotep III was an avid lover of the arts and architecture. He built many grand temples in Thebes and Karnak. In Thebes, he commissioned the construction of a massive funerary temple and other temples dedicated to the gods Amun and Ra. However, among the most famous monuments of his reign are the 2 colossal statues known as the Colossi of Memnon, located in the western Thebes. These statues, made of red sandstone, stood for centuries, even after suffering damage from a massive earthquake in 27 BCE. A legend developed after the earthquake that claimed the statues emitted strange sounds at dawn, which led some to believe the sound was the mourning of Memnon, the god of dawn, for his son who had fallen in the Trojan War. Regarding the temples of Amun, Amenhotep contributed to the construction of the 3rd pylon at the Temple of Amun at Karnak, one of the monuments that demonstrated Egypt's power and prosperity during that period. Amenhotep III was known as a devout follower of Amun, and this devotion manifested in the numerous temples and shrines built in his honor. The family of Amenhotep III and future kings. Amenhotep III was also a complex figure on a personal level. He married Queen Tia, a woman of non-royal origin who became a central figure in the royal court. Through their marriage, they had a son, Amenhotep IV, who would later be known as Akhenaten. Akhenaten was the king who initiated a religious revolution in ancient Egypt by promoting the worship of the god Aten alone. But this was not the only significant relationship in Amenhotep III's life. He also married several foreign princesses from distant regions such as Iraq and Syria. These marriages were part of a diplomatic policy aimed at enhancing Egypt's position on the international stage. Additionally, he married his sister, Isis, a union common among royal families to secure the royal bloodline within the family. Amenhotep III was known to be a highly diplomatic figure. His marriages to foreign princesses were a means of solidifying relationships with Egypt's neighbors, which helped to secure stability in his kingdom and expand Egypt's influence in the region. This policy was part of his broader strategy to increase Egypt's influence far beyond its traditional borders. Challenges and wars. Although Amenhotep III's reign was generally considered a time of peace and prosperity, he was not entirely free from challenges. In the 5th year of his reign, Egypt's southern borders in Nubia experienced a rebellion from local factions, prompting the intervention of the royal army. While this battle was not significant in size, it was crucial for extending Egypt's sphere of influence. Amenhotep continued to expand his military presence in the region following his victory in Nubia. In the east, there were occasional skirmishes with the peoples of the Levant and Mesopotamia, but Amenhotep III was always able to achieve peace or assert control through diplomacy and royal gifts, rather than through bloody wars. His diplomatic relationships with the great powers of the East, such as the kings of the Levant and Anatolia, were maintained through exchanges of gifts and messages, demonstrating his skill in balancing power politics. The tomb of Amenhotep III and his mysterious death after 38 years of rule. Amenhotep III died at the age of around 50. While the exact cause of his death remains unclear due to the lack of accurate records, some believe his death was due to a sudden or unknown illness. Initially, his tomb, discovered in the Valley of the Kings, was found to be completely empty. However, his mummified remains were later found in a different location, likely due to efforts by the priests to hide the body from tomb robbers after the tomb had been destroyed and looted. It is believed that the priests moved his mummy to a safer location to protect it from further desecration during later periods. His great legacy, even thousands of years after Amenhotep III's death, the monuments and achievements of his reign continue to inspire all around the world. Through his grand architectural projects, successful military campaigns, and dedication to the arts, he left a lasting legacy. Furthermore, his profound diplomatic actions, aimed at maintaining the security of the empire, helped solidify Egypt as a major power in the region. Amenhotep III proved that greatness does not only come from warfare and conquest but also from the ability to create an era of peace and stability that enables civilization to thrive. Conclusion: if you enjoyed our journey through the life of this great pharaoh, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to follow more historical stories worth telling. Amenhotep III is an example of pharaohs who were able to combine power and luxury and leave a historical mark that still resonates to this day. Egypt's history does not end, it is a story that is renewed in every corner and every piece of the land.